Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course brought to you by New Earth One Network. Today we are here with Vandana Atara. She is a beautiful guide with liquid light energy that she's here to share with you today. Our focus is on ancestral inner child work. We've heard of ancestral work. We've heard of inner child work. This is a whole new level. Welcome, Vandana. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Loren. I appreciate you and your listeners. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here with you.
Yes, this is an interesting topic because the ancestral inner child, let's start there with that definition. That's a new concept. It gets really deep in dimensions.
Yeah, well, chances are that if we have childhood wounds, then our parents, our grandparents, and probably 13 generations behind us and back of us that came before us also experienced similar family karmic patterns, belief systems, and relationships with their primary caregivers. And so that type of dysfunctional family dynamic kind of gets passed on to us intergenerationally. And so it's really, really important to make peace with our ancestors and, release any corded ancestral attachments where we feel that we can't really change our family dynamics, and because we don't want to pass on those wounds and that the childhood traumas to our descendants going forward, to our children or even the unborn ones to come. So it's not our fault. It's not like we've done anything wrong or that there's no hope for us. It's just ancestral. It's historical, and it's generational. And even though our ancestral lives were not easy and they made many sacrifices for us, and they took a lot of maybe unspoken vows of silence, divine feminine suppression, expression, poverty, suffering, and just basically we're in survival mode. It doesn't mean that we have to agree and pass on those types of family loyalty vows to our children, but also take them on, on our shoulders, those burdens on our shoulders, and carry them forward. So it's really important to be clear that if you have a particular type of wound with a mother wound or a father wound, that most likely it didn't start with you. So that's the ancestral child wound that many people don't really speak about. You're right. So, but it's so important to explore and to unravel ourselves from any entanglements that might keep us like in the dark and just like repeating and duplicating those dysfunctional family patterns, right? So that's why We go into every dimension, and we want to take back our powers, um, our wisdom, our truth, and our innocence as well. And this way we can feel whole again, not split or shattered or scattered all over the universe. So this is really deep, profound, sacred, and important work that we can't spiritually bypass. Well, you can, but it's probably not going to be very helpful if you do, because eventually it'll sort of come back to you. And you don't want to get triggered endlessly throughout your lifetime in every single relationship that reminds you of the most difficult ones, which are primarily the first people that gave birth to you. And so we want to make peace with our ancestors, make amends, and reconcile with our inner child, right? And when we do that, then life gets a lot better and things just flow with a lot more ease and grace. So that's the medicine I'm dispensing today.
And that is comforting, and it really makes us aware of what we're walking around in subconsciously, unconsciously. And so thank you for this. You've got an introduction here, and you're going to lead us on a couple of journeys. So we give you that space now. Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Loren. Blessings. So let's just begin by breathing in and breathing out with our inner child, and see if we can call back a feeling or a happy memory, a good feeling, a happy memory, a pleasant sensation, and invite in that precious, beautiful innocence of our own inner child that's either frozen inside or maybe just took a very long vacation, just to feel safe in this world. So inviting that part of you back so you can rebond and reparent your own little one. So let's begin by just closing your eyes and just dropping out of your head into your heart space and all the way down into your lower bodies and bellies, just softening your belly and seeing yourself as a 5-year-old child. Breathing in, smiling to that 5-year-old child, and just saying to yourself, I'm breathing in with you. I'm sitting here with you. I'm breathing, walking with you. And see him or her coming in to your room, into your living space, just reappearing suddenly out of nowhere, smiling back at you. And then on the out breath, just relaxing and elongating your out breath to really calm your inner child down, really regulate and reset your nervous system. And seeing, smiling at your inner child, but just letting go of any stress, tension, or resistance to reuniting with this part of you, reconciling with your precious life force energy, and smiling with love and compassion at this very fragile and vulnerable part of you. Breathing in, merging with this part of you, and just imagine him or her just walking almost into you or sitting next to you. And breathing out, letting go of any fear that she or he no longer trusts you. Breathing into the heart and the soul of this fragile, innocent, precious, intelligent, wise old soul. And breathing out, just smiling at this part of you with love, adoration, admiration for all that they've been through. And now take a moment to envision your mother and father as children, your ancestors. They may still be living and embodied, or it may have passed on into another dimension. And starting with your father, seeing him as a fragile, vulnerable 5-year-old innocent child, and just breathing him in. There's no separation, disconnection. There is only compassion. And smiling with love to your father, seeing what he looks like, how he's dressed, seeing that he once was a child too, just like you. And so breathing him in, and on the out breath, breathing out any stress, tension, fear, doubt, or resistance, that he's actually here with you in the room that you're in right now. And seeing now your mother as a 5-year-old child living within you as you live within your mother and your father. And now seeing and envisioning what your 5-year-old mother looked like as a child, that she was once a fragile, sensitive, innocent, playful, and creative child too. She was also vulnerable, just like you were then, and just like you are now. So seeing, imagining, or just feeling the heart and the soul and the essence of your mother as a 5-year-old child, and breathing her in. And as you breathe in, you're softening your belly, making room for her to find her way back in, your mother and your father and you, all together reuniting as a healthy, holy, happy family. And smiling at both of them, but exhaling out a heart filled with warmth, kindness, and compassion, and deeper understanding for everything that your mother and father lived through, were exposed to, and experienced as children. And now inviting in your mother's mother and father, and your father's mother and father, and seeing them holding a space to, in this timeline, be with them, listen to them, hear them, appreciate them, and support them, so that they could grow up to parent you the way you deserve to, and see whatever fears they had as children shifting into loving relations. And again, imagining your mother as an adult, kind of softening and morphing and shifting into this adorable 5-year-old, lovable child, also fragile and vulnerable too. And seeing your mother's parents backing and blessing, but supporting her, and this time always being there for her when she needed them to be. And do the same thing, calling in the spirit, the soul of your father and your maternal and paternal grandparents, his parents, And this time, seeing his mother and father standing behind him, supporting him, and allowing him to feel safe, seen, soothed, supported, and well. And seeing them both in front of you, seeing them honoring, appreciating, and acknowledging, really holding a strong space to protect your inner child in this timeline. So you're all breathing each other in, your mother, your father, because they suffered too. And this time you're here to help them as they are here to help you too, to release that bondage to suffering in your entire lineage and bloodline. Breathing in, you can say, Father, I see you suffering as a child. And breathing out, you can say, Mother, I see you suffering as a child. And seeing your father, the father in you, breathing him in. Seeing your mother in you, breathing her out. Breathing in, Father in me. Breathing out, Mother in me. Understanding the difficulties of my father in me, I breathe in. I don't run from, run away, or need to run toward anything. I am present now with the feelings of my father as I breathe him in. And I'm determined to work for the release of both my father and me. And I breathe him out, breathing in the difficulties he faced that made him the father that I once knew. Breathing out, releasing that father in you, understanding the difficulties now of your mother that still resides within you, in your cells, in your blood, in your bones and DNA, breathing her in, but honoring everything she lived through. Breathing her out, releasing those difficulties of your mother. Breathing in the difficulties of mother and me. Breathing out, I release my mother in me. And I understand the suffering of my ancestors in me that made them grow up and become the adults that I once knew, that I'm related to. I am now determined to heal the suffering of my ancestors in me as I breathe every bit of stress, fear, doubt, tension, worry, and anxiety that I've inherited from them. And now I can hold compassion for them, no longer identifying with my ancestral suffering as I release all of this tension now. And I come back and return, giving my full attention and devotion to reparent and rebond, to rebirth that connection with my own inner child. But this time I make a promise and agreement to not only speak with, but listen to the needs and the feelings, embracing them all of my inner child as the continuation of my ancestors, who we can never be separated or disconnected from. We are the continuation of them, and they are the continuation of us. And dropping into your heart space once again, holding your heart space, inviting in all of the ancestral children in your bloodline. And this time seeing them growing up and being reparented with loving caregivers, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, siblings, in a whole new timeline and dimension. Reaching out, taking the hand of your little one, asking her or him if they're ready to come out and play, to communicate with you safely, respectfully, lovingly, and that this time you'll be completely present with them. You'll honor every victorious moment and celebration, delighting in their achievements, their gifts, their accomplishments. Communicating with your inner child now, no longer needing to repeat the wounds of the past, letting your inner child know now that everything is going to be okay, that you are there for them unconditionally. You'll never let them down. They can't fall down anymore. You'll always be there to catch them before that even happens. And you can say right now, my dear child, I am you. I am the version of you as an adult grown up. And I know you've suffered. You are my inner child and I am you. But now we've grown up, we're stronger, more powerful, more independent. We can take care of ourselves now. We don't need to be rescued or scared. We're now safe. We have the means to protect ourselves. So please come with me and be with me in this present moment. Don't let the past imprison us any longer. Let us now walk and sit and breathe and play and dance and sing together. Let us co-create a new reality. And let's enjoy every step that we take. Speaking to your inner child out loud, allowing the highest healing to take place, and release any pressure that you may be placing on you or your inner child to make anything happen in a certain way. Just reassure your child self that there's no need to fear, and that you're here to hold, hug, embrace, and honor every feeling and emotion, and to take better care of this part of you, protecting this part of you. And you can imagine your inner child sitting on a cushion, a meditation cushion, or maybe on a swing or a seesaw in a playground, or maybe in a forest or at the beach, or maybe even in a playroom or your bedroom, your living room. Visualizing yourself sitting there as a 5, 4, or 3-year-old child and just speaking with her or him. My dear darling inner child, I know you, I see you, I feel you. I know you're there. I also know you've been wounded. I know. And you've gone through a lot of suffering. I know. I know it's true. I believe you. I want to tell you, though, that life can be different and wonderful and filled with so many healing blessings. And just because you experienced what you did back then, it doesn't mean that you're alone. And it doesn't mean that you always have to suffer. And now switch places. Ask your inner child if they have anything to say, to tell you, or to write you about, to catch up with you on all of those years gone by when your inner child either froze, became numb, shut down, or ran away from the home of every cell in your body. Now ask her to please tell you how she feels. As you tell her and remind her, reassure her that she's still safe and she can now trust you to provide for her every need. And notice how this makes her feel. Speak the same language so she can understand you. You can kneel or bend down, bow down to her so you're at the same level. And just explain to her what happened and that now you're here apologizing to her because you didn't know she had gone, that she left. And tell her you're ready to merge with her again so that she doesn't have to feel so alone, so fragile, so invisible, so helpless and vulnerable. And that you're going to make sure that you're here for her now. Knowing and trusting she could full on depend on you and feel close to you. And you'll always be there to mother and father her too. Just allow her to feel safe, cared for, nurtured, and to feel independent. And let's go into each of the 15 dimensions to recover and retrieve every lost or missing soul piece. So these are your inner child's original, divinely perfected blueprint, template that contains her essence, the essence of freedom, of adventure, curiosity, presence, awareness, unconditionally loving everyone and everything equally, and the ability to recover quickly from any wounding. So allow yourself to just rest, digest, relax. And we're going to call in these parts of you that left home many dimensions, incarnations ago. Calling in your divinely perfected childhood, childlike innocence in every dimension, direction, and incarnation. And returning the old, worn out, inauthentic parts and pieces and fragments of you. And returning everything that doesn't serve you to the heart of creation in every dimension. And this medicine is now contained, is now held in your own healing hands, in your own lotus heart and nectar of self-compassion in its highest expression. So let's call in your ancestors the ancestral children and the adults too, aligning you with the energy of safety, security, stability, fertility, and trustability in the very first dimension. Imagine that your inner child is still residing deep within the iron crystal core of Gaia, Pachamama. And we ask to heal any planetary Akashic records found at the very center of the earth containing this important information that your inner child needs about everything. This is ancient wisdom returning. Allow yourself to feel the invisible roots connecting you, reconnecting you back to Gaia and back to your inner earth ancestors. And now taking another deep breath into your heart space, into your womb space. We're going to ask the ancient ones, the elders, your star and earth ancestors, the 7 medicine Buddhas, and Kuan Yin, the Bodhisattva of compassion, to retrieve and recover any lost soul pieces that are still existing and residing in the second dimension, restoring your energy, your right to intimacy, safe sexuality, and divine feminine harmony. And let's connect now with the earth crust, with the minerals, the crystals, the nature spirits, the fays, the plant kingdom, and all of that green plant medicine. And anything, any part of you that's still remaining there from lost civilizations in Mu, Lemuria. And breathing back into your Lemurian heart space. We now are going to activate your divine willpower, your self-worth, your strength, and your sovereign identity from any disempowered pieces of your inner child that are still living, residing, existing in this dimension that haven't been discovered. Going to clean up those soul pieces with the Sha women, your ancestral Sha women in your Lemurian light family, the first medicine guardians. And we're going to just invite back all of your power pieces that ran away or flew away when you felt shattered, scattered, or split. Inviting back the parts of you that left to survive so they can truly thrive now. So breathing your pure physicality, life force energy, and vitality back into your physical body. From the plants, the animals, water, air, all physical matter. And really feel that you're grounded here, but also expanded at the same time. And breathing back in the fourth dimension, any part of you that was lost in time, lost, forgotten, unnamed, unknown, and breathing those parts of you back from the lifetimes when you were a child and you grew up to be an adult, or you didn't make it to adulthood in that fourth dimension. the collective unconscious, the astral realms, and cleaning up and clearing out this ancestral child's belief systems from the old paradigms, from the collective mind, and inviting back your solar powers, potency, with Helios and Vesta, the solar logos. So breathing first, second, third, and fourth dimensional soul pieces of the parts of you in childhood, from the moment of conception, from the 9 months in utero, in womb time, and from all of the years after every birth and every timeline, lifetime dimension. And feeling whole, holy, filling yourself up with your light, your soul, your truth, your energy, your vitality, your creativity, bringing yourself, rising upward and bringing yourself into your core star center. And let's just ask the shamanistas, the Sha women in your family, to breathe those parts of you, yes, back in the 5th dimension. Awakening your inner child's clear communication to speak truth with loving intention through your soul voice, your soul song, your light language. And opening up this space of karuna, compassion, of metta, maitri, aloha, this benevolent loving kindness you've been missing, that was lost, that flew away into the 5th dimension, inviting these loving and kind benevolent soul pieces back. Your Buddhic, Christed, Krishna consciousness. And calling in the hunas, the kahunas, your power pieces, your wisdom, your strengths, your gifts, all the way back from the Palladian emissaries of lights, from the ascended masters that you played with as children in other timelines, the parts of you that are ready to ascend and evolve and become enlightened again now too. And now let's move into the 6th dimension, strengthening your inner child's natural abilities, trusting her intuition, never doubting, never second guessing. So calling back the telepathy, the intuitive, clairvoyant abilities, powers of prophecy and beauty. And we're going to recapture, recover, and retrieve any lost or missing soul pieces with the help, with the assistance and guidance of your ancestral soul family, the star shamans and the earth shamans, the ones that can instantly locate, find, identify, and call back those parts of you living inside sacred geometries, labyrinths, temples, and pyramids. The parts of you that still reside in the flower of life, in the Fibonacci spiral, in Metatron's cube, platonic solids, curves, circles, and spirals. So calling back your inner child's light, her sacred sounds, her geometries, and all of the devas, angels, archangels, and Palladian emissaries that overlight her, allowing all of your creatrix abilities to take shape and form here. And now reconnecting in divine union with your starseed knowledge from the 7 Palladian sisters, star mothers that seeded and birthed all of humanity. And the lifetimes when you were children. And stepping into and rising up and meeting your inner child in the 7th dimension. Sacred sound frequencies, tones, solfeggios, 521 miracle hertz frequencies, Ikaro medicine songs. These are all of the voices of you as a child, your ancestors as children, and all of the baby angels, the cherubim, Elohim, Oraphim, and 6-winged seraphim. And now allow all of this to happen as your power wings, your etheric light wings are opening, fluttering, spreading. Your wings of freedom are flying into the 8th dimension, the color of sea foam and green, divine manifestation. And breathing back, merging and integrating your child's brilliant divine mind, divine light, divine consciousness, and the sea of light. And just breathing, allowing, receiving, and softening with the brotherhoods of light, with your rewritten soul records from every lifetime, from parallel timelines, and every single incarnation where you lived as a child, becoming, growing up into your adult self, really rescuing and recovering that little one, calming her down, and inviting her to join you now in the 9th dimension. The dimension of blue-green of the galactic center, asking this part of you to reunite, to meet you there in the state of bliss, oneness, and samadhi enlightenment. And notice that you can hold the hand of your inner child, almost becoming her, merging with her, and stepping through this Palladian, Venusian, Syrian, Andromedan stargate until you reach the very center of the galactic sun. And breathing her back into your core star, your galactic center, with the Arcturians, the Syrians, and the Mayans, as well as the Incans, and all of the mountain and water and river goddesses. So you can invite your inner child to feel strong, safe, soothed, and solid as a mountain, but fresh as a flower and flowing like a river. So inviting all of these parts of you back into this land of tranquility, making a wish, asking your inner child to make a wish, because the 7 medicine Buddhas are here now, and Kuan Yin and the mother of all Buddhas, the mothers of all mothers, are here granting your wish with this ancient philosopher's stone from Sirius, also known as a Sintamani wish-fulfilling jewel, an amulet. Let's invite in Star Isis now, in the 10th dimension, inviting back your inner child and cleaning her, cleansing her, washing her, bathing her in this beautiful pearl white template, this pearl white light, pearlescent, opalescent, iridescent, and inviting her back to bond with you in this place of purity, of goodness, of balance, a pure white light with Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael. And now let's move you and your inner child into teleporting, levitating, floating, absorbing, integrating, and holding, almost swallowing the light from the 11th dimension. The colors are pink and orange. You've now arrived together in this universal gateway, breathing back your advanced spiritual knowledge, your wisdom, your emotional intelligence, your discernment, now able to manifest, bilocate, levitate, but also to demanifest what no longer serves you and your inner child. And your divine feminine frequency of pure feeling is returning with the Avians, the Vegans, the beings from Altar, Deneb, Cygnus, your feminine consciousness, your cosmic book of life. And moving into the 12th dimension, recovering parts and pieces and soul fragments that split off in a way that separated, that disconnected you from you. And you're in now the 12th dimension of shimmering gold, the center of the universe, the center of your heart, center of your soul, center of your connection to everyone and everything, divine creation. And this is more of a masculine platinum installation, providing for your inner child, supporting, feeding, nurturing, nourishing that inner child. Mothering in the 11th dimension, mothering her, supporting her, listening to her, seeing her, being there for her, holding that open-hearted space of encouragement for her in the 11th, but also refathering, providing for, backing and blessing your inner child in the 12th dimension, right in the heart of the sun and the second suns and all of the suns that are invisible to our human eyes, and opening and polishing the lens of your inner child now, her cosmic lens, seeing through all delusion, illusion, confusion, seeing with the eyes of a trusting, loving, innocent child again, seeing the world in a whole new way. In the 13th dimension, you're now connected to all universes, the cosmic logos, cosmic light. The 14th dimension, dolphins, whales, orcas, swimming all around you, playing with your inner child in this quantum spectrum of lights, sounds, celestial unicorns, dragons, and sea serpents. Let's invite in the Palladian and the Syrian bee, mer people now, helping you to swim, to soak in and to bathe in this crystalline light again. Carefree, happy, present in the 15th dimension. Now we have fully integrated your adult, your child, and all of the ancestral children with their adult selves in harmonic, healed resonance, pure energy, light, love, peace, and forgiveness. And so I invite you now to pull your aura back in, little by little, inch by inch, until you've pulled your aura back into your adult child body, 1 foot in every direction, in every dimension, in every incarnation. And now, little by little, coming back to your center, moving inch by inch, foot by foot, until you've landed all the way back into that holiness, that wholeness, that wholesomeness of your divine adult child body, parenting your child also feeling free to play in every reality and in every galaxy with you and with all star beings. So coming back into your earth body, your homoluminous light body, grounded, safe, present, alert, aware, and relaxed. One body, one heart, one mind, one soul. Thanking your inner child for coming home again to the house of your heart and the temple of your body. Bowing to her, breathing her in, knowing she's safe again. Breathing her out, releasing any uncomfortability, releasing any stress or fear that she will stay home this time and she may not want to run away again. And returning to the center of you, your heart space, bringing down the stars, breathing in the stars, breathing up the earth, and having them meet halfway in the midsection of your multidimensional light body. Adult child reunion complete.
Vandana, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sure people are making their way back from that. That was very deep. That was incredibly deep. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was deep for me too. But if we just ask to meet with our inner child in only one dimension, the work is not finished, it's not complete. And so people can listen to this replay again and again because there are valuable parts and pieces of us that are still in orbit, in outer space. They're still in other dimensions that haven't found their way back to this dimension. So we want to really reconnect with every part of us that ever went missing. And that's the only way we can do this, where it will be a successful reintegration. So, because this is on a soul level. So this is permanent and long-lasting change. But thank you. Awesome.
Thank you for the beautiful journey today. Again, this was an introduction to even more ways that people can go deep in this inner work. So explain what you've got for us. You've got a beautiful package.
Yes, thank you, Loren. I do have lots of goodies, lots of offerings, because I really believe and know and trust that the Ancestral Inner Child Soul Retrieval Program is going to be the best, fast working medicine in this timeline. So I created a package, actually not just me, my inner child too. So I had a lot of fun with it. And this is, I'm offering 9 different inner child soul retrieval journeys in package A. These are empowering programs, as every program is that I offer, that heals any remnants of early childhood loss, trauma, or abandonment, any form of physical, emotional abuse, neglect, or household dysfunction. Could be any early stressors that are still living on in your body, or that maybe parts of you that that you became ashamed of, or forced to hide, that became shadows that are still kind of hiding out in your body. So there are 2 ways that we separate from these parts of our childhood energies, life force energies. One is we either stuff these feelings, these memories, these energies, so it feels safer to fit in and blend in with other earth beings, or those precious parts of our energy break away, and so these soul shards and pieces kind of blow out of this dimension, and then it's even harder to integrate with them. So this package will help you to kind of meet your inner child halfway, reparent, earn back that trust, when you, as an adult or even as a child or teenager, disassociated or checked out. And that inner child of yours still feels kind of like an adult orphan. So we want to check in instead of checking out. So each of the 9 MP3s, MP4s will help you in different ways to rebond, rebirth, and reparent your inner child with different forms of sort of shamanic soul medicine. So we have the angels, which are also ancestors. We have chakra doctors. We have all of your star mothers, star shamans coming in to help you rebond and feel more like yourself again, and giving your inner child to feel like they also have permission and the freedom to be themselves, and to also do what they came here to do what they love, and to just feel more playful and not take life quite as seriously as the adults in their lives told them it had to be. And that's package A. You can listen to that in the morning, in the evening, really anytime when you have at least an hour or so to lie down, to rest, digest, and kind of reset your nervous system. And I like to listen at night. Most of my clients say it. This tells me that they help with when they listen. It helps them to sleep better. So people who have insomnia, or who are restless sleepers, or who are just have a ruminating mind and experiencing just a lot of stress, fear, like threat, feeling like everything is a threat or a danger, because everything is so unpredictable in this timeline. There is so much uncertainty. Definitely listen before bedtime. And package B is an ancestral inner child soul retrieval package. So will be able to identify what happened, the age when that soul split first happened, and then to kind of release and empty any trauma packets that are still stored in your inner child body or mind, heart or soul. And as we empty each of the chakras from any absorbed, pulled in, taken on childhood stress, struggle, or trauma, we then move you into, we identify where it's still living in your body. And then we focus on that body part where your inner child may still be hiding, needing to escape, right, from the scary adults in their childhood. And then we ask to reconnect with that inner child, allowing that part of you to feel safe again. And then we envision what would happen if your inner child would feel safe again, and call back also call in your future self and your sleeping inner child that kind of, is kind of hiding out in some other galaxy or reality. So then you can feel whole again, right? And so we kind of go into every timeline and every lifetime where every child that was related to you, was your ancestor, still is your ancestor in your bloodline, can all receive healing too. So it's not just you, because we, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, we inter-are. So our ancestors can never be ripped out of us, or we can never be separated from our ancestors, but we can become an ancestral tender and take care of all of the unmet needs of the children that lived before us, that sacrificed their lives for us. And so this is package B, and it's a 30-minute recorded session. It will be done remotely, but also in the Zoom room. So half of the work will be like a divine consultation, so I can write the best prescription, and we can really focus on the age that your inner child kind of went lost, missing, or maybe it felt like a kidnapping or even a hijacking. And then most of the work will be done, the majority will be done by the star Shah women in another dimension. And it won't just be one dimension, but it'll be all 15 like we did today. And so that part will be done, performed remotely after we meet on Zoom. And then you'll receive all of my notes in an email, a follow-up email. So that's package B. And when you buy package B, you receive everything in package A. Package C is going to be the entire program. So it's a 6-week soul empowering program to learn exactly how to reparent your inner child. And that takes you on a 6-week journey. So this is an online recorded soul empowering journey. It will help you to kind of recover more quickly from accidents, injuries, all forms of traumas, early loss, divorce, abandonment, any times you felt shamed, silenced, or suppressed, neglected or overly controlled by family members, or any sudden shock or sudden unexpected loss or death of a parent, a pet, or a valued caregiver or family member. And so this program includes all of the energy practices, the processes, and the easy to learn exercises of mindfulness to help you become more present, more focused, more aware, to defreeze your inner child to de-adrenalize and defreeze your inner child from any type of fight, flight, fear, freeze, shut down, collapse in your limbic brain, your reptilian survival nervous system. So you don't have to feel that you have to hide or disown your feelings or even be numb to your feelings. So this is really good medicine to clear away the pain and shame in every layer. So in all of the 6 deepest layers and levels of your inner child body circuitry. This is, again, deep, lasting, and profound transformation. This is about retrieving those really important pieces of your inner child in this really safe homecoming and reunion. This is also about introducing you to your genetic, biological, but also spiritual teachers, mentors, ancestors, and family members that in many cases really probably feel or felt safer than your own current family. So this is about retelling a new story with the hunas, the kahunas, practicing the medicine of Ho'oponopono, forgiveness, connecting the dots of family secrets, the really breaking free from the vows of loyalty, family loyalty, where on some level, you just don't feel that you have the right to do better or to feel happier, healthier, and wealthier than your bloodline, than your family. So this is inviting you to experience, find out the root, identify the root of where you're holding the trauma, release it, empty it, allow yourself to expand into that spacious energy field, and inviting back, all of the life force energy with red grounding, Reiki, clarity, and creativity. And this is disentangling you from ancestral cords, karmic knots, and unhealed wounded imprints. And this is from your recent troubled ancestors that you still may carry in your genomes, chromosomes, and emotional pain bodies. So there are 6 weeks of that. I won't go into everything, but you could definitely read about it. But package D includes a brand new master live opportunity to work with me, play with me for 3 weeks. So this is an inner child soul retrieval masterclass journey. We'll be meeting April 30th, May 7th, and May 14th in the Zoom Inner Child Rebirthing Room. Again, it'll be a 3-step process. So finding where your inner child is hiding is going to be the first class. Second class, learning, remembering how to rebond and unite with your inner child, how to earn the trust back that your inner child lost when you checked out as an adult or got too busy or distracted yourself to play with her. And then the last one, class 3, is that full merging soul integration. So that's the adult and the child selves in every dimension. And that is package D, which you'll receive when you go ahead and treat yourself and your inner child and give that part of you permission to come out and show up in the world again, to live the life that you were meant to live, to thrive and not just to survive. And really having the back of your inner child always, in all ways. And so that's package D. When you buy A, B, and C, you'll get D. You'll be able to speak with me on camera. You'll be able to unmute your mic and really feel honored, heard, and visible, right? And really meet a whole new soul family, a whole new valued community of people who are probably just like you, who also had difficult childhoods too. So that is everything.
Wow. Let's get some clarification if you don't mind. So
Sure.
you said that those 3 live webinars, those are the new ones, people get to experience time with you. They are included with the purchase of package A, B, or C.
A, B, and C.
So if someone just buys package A, they'll get
Right.
D2. That's very good. We will make sure that's very clear. I
Yes.
was asked, these are all in-depth programs that will take us on a good journey that we can do again and again. But it's wonderful to have that live interaction. So I just wanted to say, is there any difference for those who may be wondering what the difference is between A and these? Mm-hmm.
So if someone really feels the need to speak with me, to intimately connect with me live, I would recommend package B and package D. So package A are basically the pre-recorded transmissions that have a life of their own. These are called living light replays. So every time you listen, you can unpack another layer of burden, really empty out another trauma packet that's been hidden. And so those are recordings, but these are journeys that are also very powerful, that are downloadable, and that you get to listen to whenever your inner child starts acting out or having a temper tantrum or gets re-triggered again by an old pain. This is something, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a quick fix, but it's like an instant type of prescription medicine. So you just listen to that before you go to bed, and it works all through the night. And that's package A. So there are 9 journeys though, and each one will help your child in a different way. Some people just really like to relax, rest, digest, and receive, and just listen to the sound of my voice, which is calming in and of itself, I've been told. So that's package A. And then package C is like, if you're really ready to like integrate your inner child, right, and empower your inner child and learn how to write a letter, how to play with your inner child, how to really connect with that part of you, I'll take you every step of the way through this journey until you have a feeling of, oh, okay, so now I feel like I'm myself again, I'm authentically me. That's package C. That's the actual program. That also includes a certification as well. So you'll be an inner child soul retrieval practitioner. And that's if you're really committed and serious and willing and able. And it's not just for you, your adult and your inner child, it's for all of your ancestors too. Because like I mentioned in the beginning, Loren, you don't want to pass this on unintentionally, blindly and unconsciously to your children and descendants that come after you. And so if you really feel strongly about that, and you don't know who your ancestors really even are, you came from a split, dysfunctional family that doesn't even talk to each other, and a lot of your history is lost forever. Or maybe you had a lot of addictions that run in your family, whatever the pain or the wound or the trauma was, you get to be the ancestral tender and reparent all your ancestral children too. So think about that for a moment. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool because this is a modality that people can, when they work and heal this inner child within themselves, this is a modality that they can go and help others. They can facilitate it for others. So for all those healers out there or people who are feeling the call to step up and step out, this is a beautiful program for them to do that, right?
I mean, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's valuable. I mean, it's important. You
It,
can't really sidestep your history, and our ancestors live in every cell of our body, and we're like the spokesman, we're the advocate, we are the way shower, we are the life changer. Our ancestors can't speak any longer, right? Unless the living ones, but I'm talking about the ancient, wise, and well-heeled ancestors. They can help us, but we can be their spokesman and their advocate too. Yeah, I think that this is, yes, it's beautiful. It is, yeah, it's deep, and there has to be a soul readiness to do this work. We can't run and hide from our feelings anymore, because that actually winds up hurting and harming us and our inner child. So I think, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's also very special and very unique, and important work that we do.
very important work. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, some would say, I like my ancestors. Why do I have to heal anything?
Mhm.
Well, it's a two-way street. It's twofold. There's the things we have to clean up, the unconscious that we have to clean up, the trauma,
Yes.
all of that that we're walking around with. But what you're saying is that there's also this way to bring forward all the beautiful gifts and the wisdom from the
Yeah.
other ancestors that we may not even know. Yes, multidimensional.
Yes, exactly. Well said. So the recent ancestors are usually more traumatized than the ones from hundreds or thousands of years ago that lived off the land, right? That knew how to resource themselves and feed their children and grandchildren, where it was a very strong, cohesive family unit. There was a tribe that you belonged to. So we want to reach back and also find and assign an ancestral, healthy, wise, and well-heeled ancestor, the enlightened ancestors. We all have them. Sometimes we have to dig, we have to go all the way back to find one, but I promise we all have at least one that was a strong, sovereign matriarch of our family, that ancient elder, right? Medicine man or woman, who can help to heal all the recent ancestors that were struggling that we knew. So we're going back to find the ancient, forgotten, unnamed ones, because they had, like you said, the gifts. They can shower us with their blessings, with their strengths, their wisdom, their creativeness, all of these, their intelligence, because that's passed on too, right? It's in our DNA. So we don't want to just feel that we have burdens. We want to understand where the burdens came from the recent ancestors, but we want to also take on the blessings. We want to be able to receive and know our people that we come from, that there were lots of blessings too. You know, not only fear, anger, and despair that we might have been exposed to. That's a big part of the course. It really has, it's very multi-nuanced, and it has a lot of moving pieces. But that's the only way that we could really reestablish a sense of clarity, agency, and really recall our power, right? So we're all connected. We're all related. We're all one. There's no way that we can actually say that they don't exist anymore. And we're not really taught how to honor our venerable ancestors here, because we're a continuation of them, and our children are a continuation of us. So we're all linked, divinely linked. And no matter how you try to cut the cord, there's still going to be that cord. And why would you want to cut the cord when there are all these good energies? that
Yes.
you also inherited and were passed on from generation to generation. So it is an art, it's a healing art for sure. That's why I created all these different packages for different levels of readiness.
So, for those who are ready to do the Ancestral Inner Child Work, this is a beautiful program that you've developed with your guides, with your wisdom, and we thank you so much for it. Yes, your voice leads us deep into I almost want to say a hypnotic trance of relaxation so we can do this journey. So we thank you for that. For those interested, the link is right here on this webpage or in the description box of this video. And we invite you to check it out. And we invite you to join Vandana for her live classes. Vandana, thank you so much for this. It is exquisite. And we are in gratitude. Thank you.
So much, Lorraine. Bless you.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.